Okay, we're over on the bench here, and I finally got a good second-hand PTO input shaft. Now, look, this took some finding to find a nice second-hand one. It's got 19 teeth on it, 10 spline at this end, and my old one, which is here, you can see the wear marks on the teeth. They're quite sharp on top, and yeah, so we just weren't going that way. We weren't using that. And for those who watch the channel, they know that I pulled a 35 FE35 gold 6-speed gearbox apart, and I thought I may be able to get some parts. But the strange thing is that this 65 with the straight cut gear is a later tractor than the gold 35, and the gold 35 had helical gears. So they went from helical gears to straight. But normally, and it goes the other way, normally as time evolved and I was trying to make things quieter, they'd go to helical gears. So anyway, we finally got a good shaft. I got it out of Gordon Ellis at Inverell, New South Wales. Old Gordy, he found it for me. We're going to put new bearings on the shaft. The bearings are a Sparex, an S40744 bearing. So we're going to press those on. I won't film pressing them on. That's pretty basic. Now, there's a seal down inside here, and the seal is an S40746. I think you can read that. And so we'll start off by putting a bit of oil on the seal just to help it go in. We'll actually put a bit of grease on later, but I just haven't got any on the bench here now. And we need to put the seal with the garter spring. So there's a little spring there. The spring goes to the oil. So we put the flat side of the seal down in the housing, and we make sure that the spring is facing out, facing this way. So I have a 40mm disc here out of my U-Butte cheap bloody kit, so try and keep it even as you go in. My 40mm just a bit tight. So that's got it started there. It's not right home yet, so we'll drop down to a 39, and the 39 will take it all the way home. So that feels like it's all the way home. It looks even all the way around. The spring's still in place. You can see down there that the spring is still there. And okay, I'll pop away. I'll just pop these bearings on. Now, these bearings are shielded. Look, last time I pulled the shields off one side, and I left the shield on the front here to so there was not so much oil around the seal here, the input seal in the housing here. And some old fella got onto me and he said, you know, you'll burn the seal out, it won't have enough lubrication and all that sort of thing. So I don't know. I think what we'll do, we'll just pop the seals out of both of them. So that the gearbox lubrication can get all up in around there. Being a seal bearing, the tin seals aren't sealed as much as the rubber seals, but that way we'll get a full, the lubrication in the gearbox will get right all the way through. So we'll just pop them out. And there you go. So these bearings, they're a fairly loose fit. See, if you just hit the inside here, well, look at that. That one's home already. We might be able to just have an easy run with this other one as well. Yep, you can feel that started. If you're punching bearings on like this, make sure you only go on the inner and that the punch doesn't go across and hit the seal surface. I sort of like doing things like this because I can show you what you can do out in the bush, in the farm. So there you go. So there's that front shaft. There's no more we need to do to that just yet. So we can set that aside. And on this main housing, the main input housing, front shaft support, this is the one out of the FE35 Gold tractor. Now, this is the original one out of the 65, and you can see a bit of galling up through here where you can actually feel that there's a slight low spot through here where the throwout bearing carrier has been going. The grooves look all right. Look, the housing is probably usable, but in my case here, I'll put it to the side. I'm just picking the best one, and this circlip that holds the whole assembly in, when you have a look at the one that come out of the 65, you can actually feel the lips on there. You've got a shiny lip on the outside, one on the inside here, and you can feel that with your fingernail, no worries at all. So on the one out of the FE35, there's a tiny silver mark there, but you can't feel it at all. And same on the other side. There's no lip there or anything like that. So I'm going to use this housing. I've been and cleaned it all up and wiped him up and done all the good things that you should be doing with them. And the seal for in here is a Sparex S 40741. So once again, we bring the seal down in. I'll put a bit of oil on it to help it go home. Oil is your friend when you're pressing things together, bashing them together in my case. And this stage I've got a 59mm disc, so we'll just put that in, spring upwards again, make sure the spring is up, and we'll pop him down in there. And see, that just spun around on me. Okay, so that's sitting where it should be. Now we have to just bump him down evenly if we can. So we'll see how we go. Now that can go a little further. I've got the next disc down, which is 57. And so the 57, we can line up exactly with the seal, and that should take it all the way home. I think I can go a little further yet. Locating correctly. That looks better. Yep, that's about the same depth in as this one. Now the garter spring is still in place. I usually just like to look. I have dislodged them. That's still in place, so that's good. I'll go and get a little bit of grease, and I like to put plenty of grease on this front seal, the big seal there, and I also at this stage I like to grease up this fella. The PTO input shaft we haven't dealt with yet, but we'll get there. So, okay, so this should now be able to slide in nice and careful. I usually just twist him a little bit as it goes. We get the next bearing through. Now the bearings are quite loose in the housing for what they are. So we have to go in. See, the gear's not quite lining up yet. We've got a little way to go. Chasing it around the bench here. Probably if I just hang on to it, be fine. That feels like it's gone home there. And you can see the circlip groove there, so I think we're okay. Now this circlip here, I don't think there appears to be a right or wrong way for this, like the holes don't feel tapered one way compared to the other. So I'll just pop him down. Just make sure it's all the way home. There we go, I just saw him pop out. And that's even, appears to be even all the way around. Yep, I think it's in the groove nicely. I bought a whole box of these spanners for like screwdrivers with steel shanks for $19 or something like that. And they're my bash ones. I have my good ones here, my SIG chrome ones, which I like, but I don't bash them. Well, I must have, but I don't normally. I try and pick on these. So that's that input shaft Well, you can feel the drag on the seal there, that's good. It has a hole down the bottom here, and if this seal that we just put in leaks, it'll come out here and into the bell housing and drip out the split pin down the bottom. So look, I'm happy with that, that feels good. We'll go and get the input shaft and we'll put that in, then put this circlip pin that holds that in. This needs a bath. I'll be back in a minute.